Good afternoon, everyone.
Hey.
Hello.
Tanya and Anthony, how y'all doing?
Great. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Absolutely fantastic. Fabulous. Fabulous, fantastic Florence. Mad Flow, ready to do something today, make something happen.
All right. All right.
Well, hello, everyone else out there. I didn't say hey to Tanya, so I didn't say hey to Anthony. So, everyone else who's out there listening, good afternoon, everyone. Hey, and welcome to your show, The Financial Sins. We make things happen on this podcast, and this is a podcast by All Things Relevant Media Platform. We're excited about having you here in the conversation, and this is a conversation platform. So we're looking forward to having a conversation with you guys out there. All you have to do is send us a comment, and they'll make sure they put it across the board so we can see your comment. If you have any questions or anything, be ready to ask those questions so we can be able to answer them for you. We're going to do this every Friday at 1 p.m. And you're also going to be able to see this on YouTube, Facebook Live. So you guys are live out there. We're live in here, and Anthony's drinking a cup of coffee, which makes me want to get a cup of coffee as well.
It's actually mint hot chocolate.
Ooh,
Mint.
Oh,
my favorite. Hot
hey,
chocolate.
that's even better.
I love it. And look at the cup my wife bought me. Look at that.
What does they say? I
Love
see Mister.
Love
The
it.
miss. Don't forget that part right there.
Yeah.
It says the.
The Mister.
All
All
right.
right. So that's your cup. Guys out there and ladies out there, this is Mad Flow. And I am not crazy. I am just making a difference for life and others, because that's what we do on this show right here. I always tell them, I'm telling you every time you get on here, I am a former police officer, retired, 2007. Enjoyed doing that, but now I'm doing something totally different. So now I'm a financial literacy educator, and what I do is I teach people about their, how to understand how to make their money work hard for them. Been doing that since 2013. The company is called World Financial Group, and there's a division within World Financial Group called World System Builder. Now that there's about 6 divisions. Break it down to you for a minute. About 6 divisions within World Financial Group. World System Builder is the largest. 60% of all the agents within World Financial Group belong into World System Builder. Transparency company. Been over 100 years. This company's been with us. Strong company. And, it's just a place that I love being right now. And very happy that I was introduced to it. And now I do this live podcast with these 2 awesome hosts right here, which is Anthony and also Tanya Pilcher. Look at him. I'm also married, 3 great grandkids, 3 fabulous daughters. 3 grandkids and 3 fabulous daughters. One of those grandchildren, I have to let you know, we do have a boy in the family. We got a little man in there.
All right. Don't forget the man. How come you always leave out the man, Flo?
Say what?
How come you always leave out the man?
I don't always leave out the man. Last week when I did it, I did say I have 3 fabulous grandkids, and I did say, but I just a minute ago almost forgot to say that I got one of those young men in my family, which is a great grandkid. You just wanted that because you're that man in this group right here.
Oh, all right.
All right. Gotcha. We got a great show planned for you. I'm going to give Tanya and Anthony an opportunity to introduce themselves to you guys, and then we're just going to hit it strong. We're going to hit it pretty, and you guys be ready for the questions. Ask any question that you have. If we can't answer your question, I guarantee you we'll go find the resources to find it for you to get that question answered. Tanya, tell them about it.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tanya Scott Pilcher, owner of Get Skills and Get Skills Training. And so what we do at Get Skills is that we prepare people that want to get their insurance license. The pre-licensing course, which is a requirement if you are interested in getting an insurance license, and we have that right here in Savannah, Georgia. We also are expanding our wings and going into Atlanta, where we'll hold our first class July 10th. So we're super excited about what we're going to be doing in the state of Georgia. I am a licensed insurance agent and been in the business since 2008. Have enjoyed every single minute of it. I tell you, If I knew that I could do this and be as successful as I have been, then I could have saved my parents lots and lots of money in that college education. But not knocking it, because I'm a Fort Valley State graduate and Wildcat to the bottom of my heart. I would have missed that opportunity. But I have two wonderful children that are 14, who is homeschooled. And so I'm also a homeschool mom. And I have a 24-year-old that is also in the insurance industry. He took the road of going into the homeowners and auto insurance. And my fabulous husband, who is also in insurance. So it's just a full business. We do it all, and we teach it all. And so another leg of what we'll be doing is we will open up our doors to allow people that have just plain simple questions in reference to insurance, and educating them on all the different things before they make a choice. So just making sure that you are knowledgeable in reference to getting life insurance, health insurance, auto insurance, and also homeowners. So we'll be out there spreading our wings and telling people about what we do. And I am going to turn it over now to my friend Anthony, who is looking so handsome in that bright red shirt. You know what? I know why I'm liking that red too, because I'm a Delta.
Oh, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Maybe that's what it is.
All right.
It look really good on you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Hey, folks, I don't know what else to say other than what I could say about myself. It's hard when I'm dealing with or have two lovely co-hosts, not dealing with, but I have two lovely co-hosts, Tanya and Flo. Oh, Mad Flo. Now, she said she's not crazy, but that verdict is still out, right? So anyway, my name's Anthony Murray, and my college major was actually in insurance. I graduated from a college called Johnson & Wales from their main campus in Providence, Rhode Island. This is going way back. I graduated back in 1980. Didn't enter into the industry right away, but I did enter into the industry back in the 80s with a company called Mutual of Omaha. Remember them? Yeah, they used to sponsor all of the wildlife shows, right? And so I entered the industry with them. When I moved down here, I entered the industry with Edward Jones. All right. And so I have some background in it, and it still wasn't totally a fit, but found a company, or it found me, called World Financial Group, World System Builder. As you see, Flo and I, we have the same pens. It's called financial literacy. I am a financial literacy educator. All right. Actually, the three of us are. And it's very important to understand that we take this extremely serious, extremely serious. This is our livelihoods. I've been in the industry with World System Builders since the 80s. Excuse me, since 2018. I said since the 80s, since 2018. I almost forgot. I worked with a company back in the 80s called A.O. Williams. Some of you guys may know that, especially if you're with Primerica, because Primerica bought out A.O. Williams, and they're doing absolutely great today. But I like World System Builder. Why? Because our platform, the things that we offer, in other words, are so vast. We are like the Costco or BJ's or Sam's Club of the finance industry. We are changing the industry and how people look at it because of our educational platform. We stress financial education, and with that, I mean we stress it, and we teach workshops throughout the week, free. FREE, all capitalized, free. Monday through Thursday and Friday, twice a day.
Absolutely.
So listen, it's very important to us, very important in the industry that people be financially literate. And it's very important for our community. What community is that? The Black community, African American community, the Negro community, the colored community, whatever you want to call yourself, that's the community. The hip hop community, the whoever you are community. Yeah, if you Black, you got a shade of color. Yeah, you Tanya, why are you laughing at me so? You need this information, and we have a open forum today. So we want you guys to ask questions like there is no tomorrow, because really none of us knows what tomorrow's going to bring unless the Lord God shows us, right? So we're going to talk about a few things, and Flo's putting them up there. This is critical. This is extremely important, extremely important. And we love you guys for allowing us to have this show. We're here because you're there. That's why we're here.
We're here because people need questions answered. And you know what? I think what you also did is you kind of made it like we really need to be a part of your life. When I say we, your insurance agent, so you have a doctor, you have a lawyer, you have an Indian chief, you have, your you have all of these people that guide you in different aspects. And so your insurance agent should be another person that is also guiding you financially, or when you're making decisions about your life. So
that's right.
we talk about educating you in saving money or planning for your future, your retirement. You can use insurance as that vehicle, and just growing your, even your income if you decide to use it to make money. So insurance and having an insurance person as a part of your everyday life, or your what is that? Maybe your categories of people you should have in your life, is an insurance agent. And I think you made that pretty clear just a few minutes ago about all the things that we do and we want to do. And, just trying to make sure that you have the resources. We are here. And so if it's not one of us, that you do have an insurance person in your life, because you're going to make decisions about buying a home, buying a car and getting insurance on it, being in business and making sure you have insurance, along with your life and your health. And so we are licensed by the state of Georgia to uphold and do things ethically, morally, and right with you. So, reach out to us.
All right. So that's a lot right there. Tanya, you said a mouthful. Flo, we're going to close our mouth so you can open yours now.
Yeah. I got a big mouth. Instead of asking these people these questions, because I'm curious to see who knows the questions I'm putting out there, see who knows these questions. And one of the questions I'm finna hit right now is, anybody out there heard of the X curve? And what is the X curve? Have you ever heard that term and know exactly how the X curve works? Because just like Tanya said, life insurance is a vital part of your portfolio. It should be. But a lot of people do not have that in their portfolio, only because of lack of knowledge, lack of financial knowledge. That's it. So how many of you out there know the X curve and how the X curve works? What is the X curve? Well, let me give you a little bit of explanation about the X curve. The X curve is basically two curves that basically should be happening at the same time. You have a responsibility curve, and you also have a wealth building curve. So if you have a responsibility curve, what do we mean by a responsibility curve? When we first start out with life, maybe you're 21, 25, you're not making much money, right? In the beginning. But you may end up, as life goes on, you have build a lot of responsibility. First responsibility, let's say you get married. Most people these days, when they get married now, they want to do what? They want to have a destination marriage. What in the world is a destination marriage? Oh, they want to get married on the hilltop. They want to get married flying out of an airplane. Invite me as
jumping out of a helicopter.
Yes.
I saw that one too.
You want to be a part of it because that's going to cost me too much money to be a part of your destination marriage. And so that's a responsibility. But the responsibility curve is a high curve that starts high because you have high responsibility. Maybe your marriage, you brought in the debt from your wedding into your marriage. Now you have to do what? Make sure you pay that marriage, that wedding debt off as the years go by. So by the time you get 65, y'all should not have a wedding debt. And
I'm
then
trying to show it, Flo.
Yeah. What's another high responsibility? Another high responsibility.
Am I going this way, right?
Of course, there you go. There you go. We want to purchase a home, but that's a responsibility that needs to be education. Yeah, college education, the cars you have, the credit cards, the other debts that you have, all of that is high responsibility. Basically, you need to be paying that off, but at the same time, when you're paying that off, show them the other one, the wealth building one, which basically means the other curve is you need to make sure that you're paying yourself. And I always call it paying your future self. Why do I say paying your future self? Because of the fact that what you pay now to yourself for your future, when you get 65, you've got all your debt paid off. You should have lowered your debt. You should not be having a house note, a car note, college note, and college notes. You shouldn't be having all of that. All of that should be paid off. So by the time you retire, whatever age it is, and let's just say 65, you lowered your debt because the wealth, that the responsibility curve has been paying off as the years go by, but you also built your wealth at the same time.
And this is what it looks like, something like this.
Have to happen at the same time. You cannot be building your wealth and not pay off your debt. You can't be paying off your debt and not build your wealth. You have to do them both at the same time. And when you're building that wealth, guys, think of this. You have to make sure you're building it strong. When I'm saying strong, you have to make sure that you're paying yourself enough. At least 20% of your income should be going towards what? Your wealth should be going towards your future. You should be paying yourself because guess what? You may live to be, you retire at 65, but you may live to be 90 and 100. And if you haven't built up enough by the time you get to that age, you might run out of money. Run out of money, you got to go back to work. Then you have to, these things have to be in place. These are things that we teach in the workshops that we have. These are things that, we share with our blue book that we have. So whenever I'm going out in the field, whether I'm with myself, with someone or by myself, I'm always going to share that blue book because it's full of great information. So guys, remember the X curve concept. Pay yourself first. Pay yourself as the years go by so you can build your wealth up, but also pay off your responsibility. And let's take it a little bit further. What if you think about, you're 29 years old. Let's take it even younger. Let's say you're 21 to 22 years of age. If you're going to start saving something now, you just decide I don't need to save. By the time you get 65, you can either have built that wealth up and be 65, or you can still be broke at 65. You got a choice.
It's true.
Choice. So guys, understand what the curve is and understand how the X curve works. That's what we want you guys to know.
And realistically, though, people in our community buy our houses late, or we stay in a house until 25, 30 years. And then now we're 30 years older. So taking your 25-year-old who's now 20 years later is 45 or 55 if it's 30 years. And now they decide to buy their dream home at 55. Yeah. So they have this brand new mortgage where our other members have already been in 2 homes, maybe even their 3rd home by the time that 30-year period is up. And so we buy homes way too late, or we buy our dream home way too late, so that when we are 65, we find ourselves still in debt instead of being able to live high on the curve because we didn't plan it right. We just didn't do it right. So we got to help people change their mindset on what they're doing. So as you're talking about the curve, let's look at what their current budget is as a young person and how they can actually put that 20% away, because even the 25-year-olds aren't buying a house right now, very few, and how important it is to buy.
You
But
know what, Tanya?
we just need to talk about helping them budget and to get to the putting that 20% away and what vehicle they can use to put it away.
You know what, Tanya, man, you hit the nail on the head with that, right from what Flo was saying. And the point that you made about when in the African American community, what community are we today? We're still African American?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. All right,
Yeah.
all right. So in this community, we do wait too late. What are we doing at 25? At 30, I bought my first house, I was 23 years old. 21, 22, 20, 23 years old. I bought my first house, and it was unusual because you didn't find many people of color with their first house. You know what we like to do as people of color? We got extra money. We got an extra 1,000. We got an extra 2,000. We like to go spend it. We like to go spend it. And what we don't realize is that you are supporting somebody else's dream when you spend your money frivolously. When you just spend your money so loosely like that, you're supporting somebody else's retirement, somebody else's future, somebody else's dream. I'm not saying that we should not have good things, but we don't think about the future. And, Tanya, you're so right, man. This is a situation. This is very critical. This is very critical because our community at age 60 up to the 80s, we glorify in being broke, or we keep our money in a bank where it's not really earning any money. There's a lot of people that just don't know what to do. What's our objective here? Our objective here is to give you alternatives.
Right.
We're not saying we have all the answers, by no means. All right. And by no means are we saying that we are the very best in what we do. But what we are saying is we are very serious about what we do. Now, we are very passionate about what we do. And that's why Tanya has a school. Listen, you don't want to get your insurance license and you just want to learn about the finance industry. Go to what's the name of your school, Tanya?
Get Skills Training.
Look at the name of it. Get Skills. Just go and get the skills. All right. If you don't want to become part of what we do, we have free. Capitalize the word free. Free training from your home, workshops from your home. Let me see. James said something. If you buy a reasonable home at a late age, it does work for having something to reduce taxes in the form of mortgage interest. It also still using other people's money. That's true. That's a very valid point.
But they don't buy reasonable then, James. They buy expensive,
They buy expensive. That's the only thing.
And so
let me tell y'all a joke. Let me tell you a joke that I heard once. There's this guy that works at this place, and everybody else is, they're tired of working. He's 50, but everyone else above him is like 55, 60, 65. They still can't retire yet. And he's retired at age 50. And everybody was saying, well, how in the heck you do that? And he said, one wife, one house. Because you know, when you get divorced, you get the wife gets the house. People get divorced 2 or 3 times.
It's cheaper to keep her.
Yeah. Nobody else will keep. I heard that there's a lady. He said, "How you able to retire at age 50?" He says, "One house and one wife."
That is true.
But you know, it's true. And no, the other point Tanya brought up. I'm sorry. The other point Tanya brought up that was critical is that people of color buy that dream house, that dream car, late in age. All right. Now, you're going to buy a dream house, take the advantage of, especially if you're 65 or older, take the advantage of the tax breaks. Find out what you don't have to pay. All right. That's very important. I had a very close family member whose mother had a house after age, well, it was, at age 65, she still owned the house, put it like that. And they was just steadily paying taxes on it. Now, mom passed away, and then they found out that there were some tax breaks for her. They didn't know it, and they were still paying the regular amount in taxes. See, ignorance is not the thing to hold on to. It is not bliss. It's not bliss. It's not something to party about. Ignorance is ignorant. It's ignorant. We need to get informed. We need to get informed. And you're not too, I don't care if you're 65 or 70, you're not too old to take these workshops or to attend that school. All right. Because nothing is taught on such a high level that it cannot be understandable. All right. So we get a lot of information. We give a lot of information, but information does not become knowledge until you get understanding. All right. I'm finished talking.
So then let's give them some vehicles that they can begin to save money in that will grow when they're 65, or, because you were talking about the curve. So, right now I got a lot of responsibility with my children and my mortgage. So how am I going to save, Flo? Where should I put that money? What should I do if I got an extra $100 a month, so that money can grow as time goes on?
Well, at that age, when you get older, a little bit older, you have to be a little bit cautious as to where you put your money, for one thing, because you want to be able to save taxes, not pay taxes on the money that you accumulated, because we pay our fair share of taxes. But when you think about it, there's like 5% of the population that actually understands that if they put their money in a certain place, they're not going to be losing their money. They're not going to be paying taxes, as the 80% that utilizes these other vehicles. But we want you guys to think about this. If you're a little bit older, it's never too late to start saving. But you only have to think about, you have a shorter time span to start saving. You have a shorter time span to start saving. And you're going to have to save more. You can't save like you're 25 or 30 years old. You're going to have to double up more and put more into certain vehicles than you did when you was 25, 30. You've lost that time. So we want to focus on the young as well as the older as well. But if you think about this here, if you have taxes and you want to, avoid taxes, where's some of the vehicles you don't have to pay taxes in? Anybody know about that? What vehicles you don't really have to pay taxes? I'm going to talk to you about something, and you may not be able to afford this or whatever, but you need to think about it. Long-term care is one vehicle that you don't have to pay you don't pay taxes on the money that's in the distribution. So when you take that money out, and we're going to get to a point where we can't take care of ourselves, someone has to take care of us. And that is going to be, if you can't do 2 of the daily living activities, guess what? Somebody has to come and take care of you. Have you planned for your long-term care benefit? And do you understand long-term care benefits and how it works and how it can definitely benefit you and your family? Definitely. How can long-term care benefit you? But that's one of the vehicles. Another vehicle is, of course, life insurance.
Right.
Insurance is another vehicle. We can put money into life insurance, but you have to understand the different types of life insurance. Term life is not going to give you a cash growth on your money. Whole life will give you cash value on your money, but it's only going to be a certain percentage, which means you're going to only get maybe 4% interest growth on your money. And then you have to understand the other types: variable universal life, index universal life, universal life. You have to understand those plans and how they work, because those other three, they have something called flexible premium. Mm-hmm. And what is flexible premium? You're able to put more money into your account and do what? You're able to put more funds into your account, into your premium, pay higher premium, a little bit more premium. And when you put that premium in over your target, which you usually pay, that money is going towards your cash value. And that's going to help grow your cash value a little bit faster. But again, we want you to think about this. If you have grandchildren, you need to be teaching your grandchildren how to start saving now. If you have children, minor children, you need to start teaching your children how to save now. Because if you don't teach them how to start saving now, and they're still spending their money, and I hate to say this, when I see those big rims, and there's actually a rental rim shop right there off of DeRen, and those things, I went and I looked at the price, and people are paying like $2,500 for a set of rims. That $2,500 could have went towards a plan for the future, but that's their mentality. That's how they're thinking.
Right. And
and we have to get people to understand, you guys, if you're not saving now, and it does not matter what age you are, you have to start saving. You just have to save a little bit more if you're older, but you get your children, your grandchildren to understand, I didn't do it when I should have done it. And I didn't have the knowledge to teach you, but I want to make sure that you're on the right track. And what I want you to do, I'm telling you, you're going to tell your grandkids, they got a workshop today, and the workshop today at 2 o'clock and 10 p.m. Guess what it covers? Retirement plan and wealth preservation. Mm-hmm. So if you want to understand how to plan for your retirement at a young age, and if you're a little older age and you don't understand your retirement plan now or what you have, please register for the class. 2 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Y'all see it in the Facebook comments right there. The address, worldsystembbuilder.com/WS-US. And just register for the class. One starts at 2 and one starts at 10. But you have to understand, you have to start saving now. So while we're here, the reason we're here is to teach you, what we know. And if we don't know it, my God, we're going to have somebody on the show that definitely knows it. So, we're going to make sure that we get the resources that you need to get the answers that you need. And if you want to understand another location, if you understand Roth IRAs, if we ain't giving it to you, Google it. Google Roth IRAs so you can understand Roth IRAs.
Yeah.
That's the location, understanding where you can save and you can avoid paying taxes. Now, if you want to save for your children's college education, there's something called 529 savings plan. So why not understand how that works? Mm-hmm. These are vehicles that you're avoiding taxes. Now I want to ask you guys right here, Anthony, I don't know if you had one or if Tanya, you had one, but the health savings account. Did y'all ever have the health savings account at your job, in office at your job?
No, I never had one. No, they never.
Oh no. God, that's the purest form of avoiding taxes. And when I say the purest form, when I was working at the police department and I didn't understand, I didn't understand money, but it was one friend of mine that always told me, get this, the 4K, 457, get that. I did that. Every time I got a raise or anything, I never put that raise back into my general account. I just let that go into that 457 until I ended up averaging about $500 every 2 weeks, $1,000 a month, because I just let the money that I'm not used to seeing just build that up. Now, there was another company that came about and they offered the health savings plan. And I started that late. I had 2 years before I could retire, but I wanted to take advantage of that because I understood how it works. So for 2 years, I popped like $400 a month into that plan. I never touched that money. So those 2 years, it grew, it built up. The health savings plan, if you have that at your job and they offer it to you, please take advantage of the health savings plan and put some money into that. Because right now, what that works for me is this. I can use that to reimburse me off of my medical insurance, my health insurance. So I pay a certain amount of money every month for my health insurance. But guess what? All I have to do is submit the paperwork, and every month I put that into my health insurance. They send me a check for that same amount.
What?
Also, prescriptions, any of your prescriptions, and the thing about it, your receipts do not have to be from 1 year. I can go back and find all my receipts from 5 years ago, anything health related, and I can submit that to get reimbursed on. So,
Right.
and I love that because it grew real great for me. I mean, that's all you can use it for. You can only use it for your medical. But if you are in a position at work and you don't understand the benefits they offer you or whatever plans they're offering you, go to HR, human resources, to get more information. And that's where we always mess up too, Anthony and Tanya, is the fact when people working, they rarely go to human resources.
Yeah.
So they can explain more about how these things work.
Yeah, and most people, listen, if you have a 401k available at your company, take advantage of it. But if you're only going to put in like $25 a pay period, $50 a pay period, you're not taking the advantage of it. You need to dump money into that thing. Why do you dump a lot of money into it? Because the company you're working for, most companies, now not all of them are doing this now, but some companies still are doing it, put it like that. Some companies are still matching. You put in $1, they may put in a nickel with your dollar or a dime with your dollar or whatever, even if it's 3 cents, right? It's money that wasn't yours that they're giving you. So you want to put as much into that as you can. One general rule of thumb in saving money is do everything you can to live beneath or below your means.
Yeah.
All right. Live below your. So what does that mean? You don't need to go out and eat all the time. Learn how to cook at home. You don't know how to cook? Get a cookbook.
I got one.
Make sure your husband cook for you.
I got one. When you go to get a new home and they qualify you for a $300,000 house, that doesn't mean go and buy a $300,000 house. It's like, what? Are you kidding me? Why would you do that? So that is also living above your means. Just because someone gave you or told you that you qualify doesn't mean that you ought to buy a house at that amount. So, and that's what we get caught up into. And then that means what? You have a huge payment because they told you qualified. So your qualifications allow you to now have a $3,000 mortgage. And you have to get insurance. And then you still got to live. And that's how come a lot of us aren't able to save like they should be saving. But you were right in reference to taking full advantage of your employer and what's there. Don't, always look at everything that's available and take full advantage of it. Some things, are going to benefit you, and you get to walk away with, when you retire or when you leave that job, if you did the 401k, you get to walk away with all of that,
Yeah.
So the matching, and plus it did well in the stock market, that's all yours. Nobody's looking at, well, you only put in, 20,000, but you came out with, 100,000.
Yeah.
So we need to just make sure that we do those things.
Now, look, once you leave that company, you need to roll that 401k. You need to move it. Get your money. All right. Because they're still earning money on your money. Guess who's not earning any more money? When you leave that company, you're not earning any more money on that 401k. But that company, that money's still in the general pool. They're still earning. So where do you put your money? I'm going to give you 3 categories. It's called tax now, tax later, and tax advantage. Flo talked about it a little bit, and Tanya covered it a little bit. Let me just identify it for you just a little closer. All right. I wanted to hit home. Tax now. Tax now means that this is money that you have that is taxed immediately. Okay. Immediately. A checking account, you're getting taxed on that. Right. Savings account, CD, stock, mutual fund. All right. You're getting taxed on that. And then there's what is called tax later. And tax later means that you're going to get taxed, but it's deferred until you use the money. Then they tax you on that money. All right. So there's a term called tax deferred, or we call it tax later. So what vehicles are taxed later? A 401k, 403b, IRA, SEP IRA, an annuity, a regular annuity, all right, a pension. All right, a lot of companies don't even offer pensions anymore, but there's still some companies that offer them, okay? Those are vehicles or instruments that are what is called tax later. When you take that money out, you're getting taxed. You're getting taxed. All right. And then there's tax advantage. What's tax advantage? Tax advantage, well, when you put money in those vehicles, the taxes are deferred. All right. You pay the tax literally, you're paying that tax in the beginning. So you pay tax on the principal in the beginning, but then after that, you don't pay taxes on that money anymore. All right. It's tax advantage. So you could accumulate massive amounts of money. All right. And I'm gonna read some of the instruments. Roth IRA, 529 college savings, municipal bonds. All right. Health saving account, or HSA, life insurance, indexed annuities. Index annuities, you want to take advantage of them, right? But life insurance, long-term care. Why don't people know about long-term care? Do you know why people don't know about long-term? I don't know why people don't know about long-term care, because
our culture allows us to bring mama them into the house and put them in the living room, on the sofa bed, and in the hospital bed. That's why, because our culture teaches us to do that. That's why we don't know.
That's so true. I have a family member whose mother has, I don't know what she has, but her mother is sickly, and this girl works a full-time job, goes to school, and takes care of her mother.
Wow.
And takes care of her mother. Listen, folks, I spoke with my brother. Hey, I'm just being real with you. I spoke with my brother and I told him, I said, you need to make sure you got long-term care. I said, you need to make sure. I said, because you cannot depend on your children. He has beautiful children. I said, but you can't depend on them because they have their own lives. And sometimes we forget that. We say, oh, my daughter take care of me. My son will take care of me. They have their own
That's
lives.
their long-term care plan.
6 weeks. 6 weeks, they'll take care of you. Then that job.
We shouldn't be putting that burden on our children. We should take care of that ourselves and not leave a burden like that on our children to make sure. So if I have long-term care, I can have my, daughter to come over and help take care of me. I'll be able to give them something. If I don't have long-term care, some sort of plan, man, she has to come in and spend her own money half the time.
And this age, before turning 65, long-term care is very inexpensive. So we have policies now. My husband and I, we've had them before we turned 50 or right at 50. And we pay $114.07 a quarter for his, and mine's $107 a quarter for mine. So that's every 3 months I'm paying my long-term care. My mom, I didn't buy hers until later. She thought it was too expensive, but you look at $800 a week for someone to come in to take care of her, or $156 a month to prepare, get the long-term care policy.
How old was your mom when you bought it for?
I bought it for at 65.
At 65? What company did you go through for that? I like that price.
That's quarterly now.
No, hers is monthly.
Hers is monthly.
Hers is monthly because she was 65. But mom is in excellent health. So she didn't have, no high blood pressure, no diabetes or anything. So she was able.
So they didn't have to rate her at all.
No, not at all.
So she had the same thing with my husband. My husband came out at his age, and here I am, 10 years younger than him, and he comes up with elite. What is it? Preferred elite.
Preferred elite.
I'm happy it did because it was, and he was 63 when I got his plan.
Wow.
Right.
And here I am. I'm trying to get mine the same day, and they draw my blood and do my pressure. My pressure just stayed up. They had to rate me. I said, Lord, no, they didn't even rate me. What they did was I got the plan, but not long-term care writer.
They wouldn't give you long-term care.
I couldn't.
Listen, people, what Flo said is extremely important. And a lot of people do this. They wait till they get older or till something happens, then they try to get what's needed. But it's too late in some cases because health-wise they don't qualify. And this is something that's very critical. And this is why it's important to get what you need while you're young. Now, I have a plan that includes life insurance, cash value, and that cash value could be used for retirement, and it includes long-term care. 4 components in one. All right. And
but just like James is saying, it protects your nest egg later on, because we lose our money in healthcare.
This is critical. Young folks, I know you're out there and you're listening, and old folks or older people like us, seasoned people. I'm not old, but older people like Tanya and Matt Flo.
But we look good. But you know what, Anthony? On that comment in reference to waiting until we get older to get life insurance or to try to get what we need. So I did that when I was younger. I got my life insurance when I was younger. But unfortunately, what happened is the agent that introduced me to life insurance for the first time, he only sold one type, which was term. So that's all I was introduced to. Never, thought that, understanding the other whole life and all the other types of whatever. So I started early, but unfortunately, I didn't get the right information. I didn't get the knowledge that I needed to, to choose the right plan for me. That was it. I was just given one choice, and that was it. One choice by this agent. And I had that plan for 19 years and 6 months until I was introduced to this company. And then I learned about Index Universal Life and the other types of life insurance plans. And I had 6 months left in that term. I said, just cancel that. At least I can use that last 6 months of payment. I can use that towards my payment for my my life insurance with the IUL. So I didn't get. And so what's happening, agents go out and they talk to a client, and they're just out there for one reason. Get that commission, to make that money. If they
didn't have any knowledge,
educating that person first, so they can make the decision based on knowledge, and not because you're coming in with one product that you're going to offer me, a term life product. That's all you offer me, and it sounds so fantastic, but I had no other options.
No other options. I understand. And James is right. There is the universal life insurance product that has the long-term care. So no matter what your premiums you pay, will be used towards the death benefits, your long-term care, or it will return your premium. So that is right. We need to, those products are available, and we just need to make sure that you have a good advisor. It's okay to interview agents and advisors. That's right. It is very much so. So that's right. If I'm not servicing you and giving you all the information that you need, then there are other agents. There is nothing wrong with you getting different pricing for an insurance plan that you want to go into. So please, definitely. All of us don't have the same types of products,
right?
Because we get caught up maybe in a Medicare product, and we have a lot of Medicare, and we don't have a lot of life insurance, or we have too much life insurance and don't have any health insurance, or we just have, again, your Primerica people just have term insurance policies that they sell, and so they're not going to ever sell you a whole life policy unless they've changed. They're not going to ever sell you anything. I realized that even with a client that I have now who's young but overweight and taking some prescriptions, I don't have anything that's going to fit him because he's rated. It's like I'm going to have to put him in a senior product, a senior citizen. It's like,
but you can't even qualify for the senior product. Got to be a certain age. Right. Final expense.
Yes, a final expense product. And I'm like, well, I got to have something. There's got to be something for a person that takes 2 blood pressure medicines under the age of 40 and overweight.
There's something for them. They have to start taking better care of themselves starting now. Do what it takes. Go out and exercise, walk every day. Focus on being a better you by doing better by you. Right? And, because, weight can be lost. We just have to do that. And I also want to let everyone know out there that if you want to know more about and understand more about life insurance and different types of life insurance, on the 18th of this month, we do have workshop number 2. And that is going to be building a financial foundation and proper protection. So you get to understand building a financial foundation and proper protection. Protection is life insurance, the different types of insurance. So we're having that workshop. You guys, the workshop link is in the comments. Just copy that. And then on whatever day you want to, register for the class, just register for it.
Hey, let me say something real quick, because we had a couple people say, hey, I'm not changing, or one person say I'm not changing my
that's because it's me. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
You're not changing
that was you. I'm not changing my life insurance agent or something.
Oh, that's
I'm not changing. No, Mike Roberson. Roberson said that.
Yes.
I'm not changing my agent.
If your agent is doing well by you, by means, keep them.
Yeah. Listen, there's 700 plus insurance companies throughout the United States. 700 plus. We are not the only act in town. All right. We don't have all the answers. Right. We have some solutions available. We have some answers, but we don't have all the answers. We would never ask anyone that's loyal to anyone to disembowel that individual or to get rid of that individual. That's your personal choice. You have to look at the reality of the situation. Does my agent offer what I need for a better life in towards the last 8,000 days of my life? All right. So 8,000 days. What is that? What do I mean by that? The average person lives around 8,000 days after they retire, if they retire around age 65. Okay. I met a young man, however, I was in Charleston. He was 30 something years old, retired. 32, 33, retired. All right. Why was he retired so early? Well, he was retired from the regular corporate job, but he was still working because he had a bunch of real estate. He made some good investments, and he took that money that was profitable for him and reinvested it in more real estate. And he was able to retire from the corporate sector at the nice early age in his 30s. So this is extremely important. All right, guys, and I want you to know that we're here to help. We're here to try to answer some questions and maybe provoke you to challenge us or provoke you to investigate this for yourself. What are you afraid of? Are you afraid that we might be right, or are you afraid that you might be wrong? All right. We want to challenge you to investigate this for yourself. How much time do you have? Do you know your death date? You know your birth date, but do you know your death date? No, you don't. All right. So what we're talking about is extremely important. All right. What are you going to do if you come? Let me mention this to you real quick. And I know we got to get out of here.
Yep.
I had a friend that lived here in Georgia that was from Ohio. She retired. The company she retired from got bought out, and the new company cut her pension. She had to go to court to try to get it restored. Well, look, that's it for me. It's our time is up. We love you guys. Flo, Tanya, last words before we get out of here.
No, you're going to take the last words, Anthony, and we just thank everybody for coming out.
Hey, look, we love you guys. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and all things relevant media. Press like, and ask your friends to check out this conversation, this discussion. This is real. And remember, next week we'll be back at 1:00. Bring a friend with you. Okay? God bless you. We love you.
Appreciate you all. Thanks.